So what really happened that day? Let's just for a moment speculate, shall we?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most epic movies over 3 hours long.
They're not gone. They're here.
What kind of game is this?
It's no game. See for yourself.
You shall have them all, and in peace. But there is only one way. My way. Make me queen.
For this list, we'll be ranking all the films that go all the way, flicks that demand your attention for over 180 minutes. We might also be delving into spoiler territory here, so here's your official alert. What are some of your favorite extra-long films? Sound off in the comments.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10, Avengers Endgame. There was only one way for Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to go out: big. Comic book movies were already increasing their running time prior to Avengers Endgame hitting screens, but not even the most rabid of Marvel fans were ready for its epic runtime.
You trust me? I do. You're calm. Here we go.
At 181 minutes, it does its very best to provide a satisfying conclusion to the Infinity Gauntlet saga, which was no mean feat, given the wealth of characters who show up to do battle with Thanos, the Mad Titan.
Is that everyone? What, you wanted more?
And judging by the immense box office returns and acclaim from both fans and critics alike, it looks as if Avengers Endgame was successful at this mission.
And I am Iron Man.
Number 9, The Irishman. Martin Scorsese is one of the few directors left with the sort of clout that dates back to the new Hollywood era of filmmaking, balancing artistic integrity with commercial success in a very unique way.
And this man, James Riddle Hoffa, is the guy that gets the job done. I'm behind you, Jimmy.
Scorsese has made a career of crafting movies about New York City, organized crime, and complex, occasionally flawed characters that take time telling their story. The Wolf of Wall Street was one such film, made in the traditional Hollywood studio setting. The Irishman proved that Scorsese could achieve the same sort of magic on Netflix.
The only reason they agreed to this was out of respect to me.
This moody and measured look into the disappearance of Teamster leader Jimmy Hoffa took a lot of time and money to get made, but the results were worth it, and audiences were captivated throughout The Irishman's 3+ hour running time.
It says what it says.
So, there it is. Where do we go from here?
Number 8, Titanic. Was James Cameron's Titanic historically accurate? Well, no, not exactly. But that didn't matter to audiences back in 1997 because this blockbuster was popcorn entertainment personified.
I'm the king of the world!
And that's sort of why we give in to the embellishments Cameron and crew gave to the story of the Titanic's doomed voyage. We want to be swept away with the romance, action, and humongous special effects. Many fans of a certain age may also remember the film's deluxe double VHS package during a time when that medium was slowly being phased out.
Open your eyes.
I'm flying! Jack!
It's a testament to why we as moviegoers are totally down for that extended sit, so long as the filmmakers make it worth the trip.
Promise me now, Rose. And never let go of that promise. I promise.
Number 7, Gone with the Wind.
No, I don't think I will kiss you. Although you need kissing badly.
Some older films, for better or worse, fade out of the public consciousness, but Gone with the Wind continues to be a magnet for discussion and debate. There's no denying that this 1939 classic is long, at over 234 minutes in its original roadshow presentation with intermission, overture, and ending music. There's also the controversy behind how Gone with the Wind adapts Margaret Mitchell's novel with regards to its depiction of slavery during the Civil War. Then again, actress Hattie McDaniel was the first African American to win an Oscar for her supporting role as Mammy in the film, which makes it an important part of cinema history.
And she said the funeral set for tomorrow morning. And he says, you try that, and I killed you tomorrow. Do you think I'm going to put my child in the dark when she's so scared of it?
Gone with the Wind also stands as the most financially successful film ever, when its profits are adjusted for inflation.
Red, you go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Number 6, Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
Hollywood has a long history of going big with their biblical epics and grand historical spectacles.
Time will solve that mystery.
Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments was so long, the trailer was over 10 minutes, while our number 6 entry featured an A-list cast telling a legendary tale. Kirk Douglas was already a major star prior to Spartacus, giving him his career-defining role, where he was joined by other acting legends like Tony Curtis, Peter Ustinov, and Laurence Olivier, in a production that approached 200 minutes in length.
Tell them we want nothing from Rome. Nothing. Except our freedom.
All we want is to get out of this damn country. We're marching south to the sea, and we'll smash every army they send against us. Put them on a horse.
It's the sort of production that we rarely see these days, although a line of inspiration can clearly be drawn from these classics to more modern examples like 300 or Gladiator.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Number 5, Ben-HUR. They simply don't make them like this anymore. Ben-HUR is cut from the same cloth, or is that robe, as Spartacus, big budget biblical epics that are the definition of an event.
Oh, you can break a man's skull, you can arrest him, you can throw him into a dungeon. But how do you control what's up here? How do you fight an idea? Especially a new idea.
This 1959 remake of a 1920s silent film was a blockbuster before the term was even used to describe this sort of spectacle.
May God grant me vengeance. I will pray that you live till I return.
Ben-HUR not only created a defining role for Charlton Heston, it employed a cast and crew of thousands, and boasted one seriously impressive chariot race. For a 200-plus minute movie, Ben-HUR also moves along at an exciting pace, helped along by Miklos Rosa's rousing score. It's essential viewing for any self-respecting movie buff.
Come tomorrow. We'll talk of him.
Number 4, Once Upon a Time in America.
There they are. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
For someone who only directed a small handful of films, Sergio Leone is one of the most influential men to ever work behind the camera. Leone's works simply defined epic. He was never a man to do anything in half measures, and his spaghetti westerns like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly changed how the genre was viewed around the world. His final film may not have been a western, but Once Upon a Time in America was just as influential, this time as a sprawling tale of organized crime in the United States.
You'll carry that stink of the streets with you the rest of your life.
I like the stink of the streets. It makes me feel good. I like the smell of it. It opens up my lungs. And it gives me a heart out.
The film nears 4 hours in length, but never feels like a minute is wasted, with the acting, cinematography, music, and direction achieving the sort of perfection that defined Sergio Leone throughout his enviable career.
It's just the way I see things.
Number 3, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. The 2000s were a good time to be a fantasy fan.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you. Come on!
It didn't matter whether you were into Harry Potter or Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, it was all about those epic tales of daring do.
Hold them back! Do not give in to fear! Stand to your post! Fight!
The Return of the King in particular was a satisfying conclusion to Jackson's sojourn to Middle-earth, even if some fans good-naturedly commented on the apparent dozen or so endings in the film.
There's plenty for the both of us. May the best dwarf win.
It's almost as if Jackson couldn't bring himself to leave this world in which he'd spent so much time. Even with so many plot threads to tie up, the finale of The Return of the King still gives us all the feels years later.
On the shores of the sea comes the end of our fellowship. I will not say do not weep, for not all tears are an evil.
Number 2, Lawrence of Arabia. We've made mention of film scores quite a bit during this list, and with good reason, because epic film scores often play a huge role in film success.
No prisoners! No prisoners!
Lawrence of Arabia was one of those films, with its composer, Maurice Jarre, creating some of the most memorable orchestral cues of all time. This isn't to say that director David Lean's World War I drama doesn't measure up to its reputation as one of the all-time greats, because Lawrence of Arabia is a classic for a reason. There's emotional depth, breathtaking scenery, and a cast that includes Peter O'Toole, Omar Sharif, and Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Alec Guinness.
This is beautiful, is it not?
Very.
Before we name our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Snyder Cut is unleashed.
It's too late. Oh no. He's here.
Hamlet. The Bard's work done complete justice.
The rest is silence.
Malcolm X. Spike Lee deep dives into this biopic.
I gotta hand it to you, Red. That's the best preacher hype ever did here.
No hype, brother. That's the truth.
The Deer Hunter. Michael Cimino's defining cinematic statement.
Now we got ourselves a game. You and me. You and me. Now we got ourselves a real game.
It's a mad, 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 mad world. Epic length comedy with a cavalcade of cameos.
I'm bleeding! My mama! What did I do to my mama?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Godfather Part 2.
I haven't got a lot to say, Mike. We have time.
Whoever heard about a case of diminishing returns? Not Francis Ford Coppola or any of the people behind one of the best sequels of all time, The Godfather Part 2. At 200 minutes, the film not only continues the story begun with Coppola's original adaptation of Mario Puzo's novel, it improves upon it. This is done via flashbacks to Vito Corleone's rise to power in Sicily, just as Michael Corleone's story continues in the present day.
My offer is this. Nothing. Not even the fee for the gaming license, which I would appreciate if you would put up personally.
It's a film of violence, tragedy, and complexity, filled with memorable characters and stories that, no matter how often we see them, continue to captivate us so many years later.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.